When we're setting up for our deadlift pattern, first, we want to use a weight that's less than 20 kilos if we're not confident lifting a barbell by itself. The movement pattern is depending on where our hands are relative to our body position. So I like to teach deadlifts from the top of the movement. So we start by getting this to the top, it's locked out, we squeeze the glutes, we tense the quads, we bring our shoulders back, and we get our chest nice and proud. During the movement, we don't want to have our shoulders collapse. Wherever they start at the top of the movement is where they should stay throughout the movement. So if we start here, then they're going to stay there as we move. But ideally, we're getting all the back muscles involved, which are tighter during a more extended position. So from here, we're going to start with a Romanian deadlift, which is just pushing the hips back. So if I push my hips back, I've maintained that core position, that arch, and I'm only moved from the glutes and hamstrings. Once I run out of range, or once the handle has passed my knee, then I can bend the knees until I touch the ground. That's going to be the ideal movement for when we have the bar. So from here, I then initiate by pushing the floor away and then coming through with the hips. Different to a squat where we bend the knees and hips at the same time. So we go hips, hips, hips. Notice the vertical shin until my hand passes my kneecap. From there, then I touch down. That's going to be the bottom of the rep. I push away. When my hands have cleared my knees, then I can come through with the hips again. This is important because once we go to the bar, we need to keep the bar close, but obviously we've got our shins, our knees, and our quads that get in the way. So we don't want it drifting wide, and we can't pull it so close that it goes through our bones. So from here, I'll start from the top, lock the shoulders, and I go hips, 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 hips. Cleared the knee. Cool. I'm free to bend the knees until I get to the bottom. Then I push away, and then once I've cleared the knees, then I can come through with the glutes again. You want to make sure at the top, you lock out every rep by standing nice and tall and taking your breath before you go down for another one. To initiate the pull on a deadlift, you want to take the slack out of the bar. So that means there's a little bit of space between the bar and the edge of the plate here. So when we go to pull, we want to pull the bar up into that so the bar comes off the ground silently. That means we're going to have the weight of the bar locked into our upper body so that as soon as we push with the legs, we don't have a collapse of the spine. So that looks like this. So I take the weight of the bar by pulling my shoulder blades back and down, pull my chest up, and there I've got the bar ready to go just by pulling my shoulders into position. As it gets heavier and closer to my relative 1 rep max, I won't be able to pull the bar off the ground doing that, but it's the intention that matters. It's the ability to pull that into position, stay balanced, so that as soon as I use my legs, I can snap up and drive quickly, hit the reps comfortably. So we wedge, I pull up into the bar, I'm using my shoulders and I'm wedging into my hips. Pull, control down, hips, knees, push, hips, okay? And then if I was to reset the reps, I go wedge, come down, wedge, and so obviously that takes a lot of practice, but every rep you want to make sure that the bar is glued down into your body before you try and yank it up. Otherwise you'll end up like this. You'll go loose upper body, you go to push, the arms will get left behind. So here I've got the bar, but then my body keeps rising, and that's where we start to see some really ugly deadlifts. So a lot of talk about should my spine bend, shouldn't it bend? As long as you are locked in, it doesn't matter. But if you are increasing the bend of your spine while you are loading and you don't mean to do it, then you're not going to be able to hit a safe, consistent rep. There's a lot of talk on it online. I would just recommend try to keep your spine stiff, try to save the spine bending to a non-heavy exercise until you've built resilience in those bending exercises, because it's not a bad thing. I can still round my spine and do reps, but I've spent a lot of time strengthening that pattern. So I don't want you to do that. That's a different lift. Try to keep your spine locked in, pull the slack out of the bar, keep it all tight, and if you need to, record from this angle so we can see what your lifts look like. That is how you actually deadlift.